Oh, did I do it? Did I do it? Let me make sure it's on my face. Alright. Did I do it? Is this thing on? Is this thing... Mic check? Ooh. I feel like I just peaked. I peaked it. I peaked the mic. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new thing I'm doing here on the channel, which is having conversations with you in my car. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a big mistake because my AC does not work and it is hot. And although I have my windows down, not too down, I don't want people knowing my business, but I have it down, I'm still burning out. So if you start seeing sweat fall down, trust me, it's not raining inside. That's just me. Anyway, hello. I have no idea what to call this series yet. I'm actually between two names, and you guys will probably let me know what those names are. I'm thinking of calling this LunchLight, or what was it called? 12 p.m. something. I'll probably put it somewhere around here so you can see the two options that you guys have, but I have no idea what I'm going to call it yet. So for right now, this is just kind of like a first episode thing, whatever, pilot, whatever you want to call it. So basically, this is going to be the most raw, most unfiltered, most pure version of me, because I'm in a car and I'm hot and I'm going to be here for an entire hour. And normally this is a time where, you would eat. I don't want to eat. I am a robot. I am sentient. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is to just kind of have conversations. It's like a midday check-in for me. Just talk about some of the things that maybe I reflected on during the first half of the day, or maybe something that was really just on my mind. And I want to talk about something that happened to me recently. I won't go into too much details, but it kind of made me think about who I am, and kind of made me also think about the type of content I want to start bringing back to the channel. If you don't know, this channel was originally supposed to be me building PCs, and it ended up changing into sort of a review channel to a degree, but it was a review for specifically mice, because that's what was popular during the time. That's what honestly made my channel kind of start getting growth. By the way, can you guys hear me? I'm trying not to put this too close. It looks like it's peaking on my camera. So you can let me know if this is too loud. If it's too loud, I will fix it and turn it down. I'll probably find out when I edit this video if it's too loud. So, but yeah, this channel was originally supposed to be me building PCs, because at the time I was really big into watching PC builds. People like Bitwit, Paul's Hardware, of course, Linus Tech Tips. I was really into those guys, really wanted to, do what they did. I thought it was fascinating when they were building these really dope PC builds, especially when they were doing small form factor. Man, small form factor PC building looks really cool. At some point I want to do it. So I decided to make a channel to do that. And like I said, the direction of the channel kind of changed when I got my first mouse, and it was the Fanatic. I think it was the Fanatic Clutch. It was the very first mouse I had. I made a video on it. It was nothing crazy. Thought it was pretty simple video, but boy, it did pretty well. Had some good viewership. And I was, at least for a channel of my size. I mean, you're talking about a channel that had like, maybe 10 people, and most of those people were my friends and family, which is not a diss. It's just an observation. And I realized at that point, oh, you know what? People seem to really like mice reviews. Let me go ahead and actually do some more. And then that's what I started doing for most of the channel. I started dipping my toe in a few other things. I did one video on Genmoji versus AR emoji, which low-key, to be honest with you, I don't know how much I really liked. I don't know. I feel like it was a stupid thing to do, but it was fun to do. I also did short film, a little bit of short filming, made short films on the channel. I don't know why I was having trouble saying that. But all that to say is, I had a recent opportunity that came up for me, and this opportunity would have potentially been life-changing. It would have changed the course of everything. And as I was going through the experience of this opportunity, some things kind of rubbed me the wrong way with the experience that I had, and that kind of made me realize that there was a reason why I started kind of wanting to make content on YouTube, and why I was so, involved in learning how to do the ins and outs of everything that I could, it was just because I didn't really want to depend on people. Now, I know that's kind of a weird thing, because in the world you do need, you of course need other people to help you get through certain pathways and certain things through life. But for me, I didn't want others to dictate what I would be able to do. I wanted the opportunity to be there, and I wanted to be able to take the opportunity if I so desired and make something become of that. And it just felt like my whole life, honestly, it felt like that I was kind of on this path that was destined for me by other people. It wasn't a path that I saw myself going towards, if that makes any sense. For me, it was like everybody was telling me what I could do, what I should do. I should do this. I should be this. I would become that. And so in my head, I'm thinking, well, getting feedback from other people, maybe this is the thing I should be doing. Maybe this is the thing or direction I should be heading, and I started heading in those directions, but I left unsatisfied, unfulfilled. And for me, it was like, this should be good, right? I'm seizing the opportunity. I'm hearing what people are saying, and I'm doing it. But when I looked around, I saw a few things. One, I didn't really have a lot of people that were around me that when it was time to show up to actually support, they actually would support. They didn't do that. And then two, I just didn't feel happy with the stuff I was doing. And not necessarily just content creation. That is probably the only part that I felt like I enjoyed doing. But it felt like that I started sacrificing bits and pieces of myself and who I was and what I wanted to be, what I wanted to become, in order to satisfy everybody else's idea of what I should have been. And I feel like, and if you can relate, you can let me know too, but it always feels like you got a lot of people who tell you a lot of things. And so you start thinking in your head, maybe I should start doing that. Maybe I should, go ahead and get into this thing because somebody said I should get into it. So maybe they see something in me. But it's not maybe something that you always want. Now, not in every single case do you do something you don't want to do and it doesn't turn into something you want to do. But, it's safe to say that maybe a lot of people just don't have that kind of experience and feel like they get into something and they feel so unsatisfied and they just don't know why. And I felt like that for a bit. I got into so many things that I just didn't really like or cared about, and I left unsatisfied and I couldn't figure out why. And, while I was enjoying making content, I did let a lot of personal things and a lot of other stuff kind of prevent me from being able to actually push out content. Only God knows where I would have been had I been consistent, or what I would have been able to do. But the experience that I had recently, it kind of opened my eyes to make me realize that I think the best thing for me, at least in the creative space, is to continue pursuing making content. I enjoy making content. I think it's fun. Going through the creative process is enjoyable for me. Granted, I don't like all the, everything about it. There's some aspects that, I have to do because, I'm a solo content creator. I don't have anybody else, or I don't pay anybody to do this for me. I'm not there, and I'm not a rich boy who won the lottery, But it's like, I've put myself in the wayside with a lot of things. I've always put what I thought was the needs of other people or what the thoughts of other people above my own. And so I never really allowed my own opinions to kind of have light. I've always just suppressed those, kept them to myself, didn't really, say anything, give any insight. But it always felt like that I just had so many ideas and so much ambition, so much drive. And it felt like that as I was letting other people tell me what to do, I started losing that drive and losing that focus. And it feels like now recently, after having this experience and being rubbed the wrong way, I now feel like I'm starting to slowly get back to the person I want to be. I've been going through a kind of a personal thing, a personal journey chapter, whatever you want to call it. I've been going through something, for years, dealing with a lot of my past, a lot of history with my family, a lot of trauma that comes from that. And, I've gotten to a point that as I've gotten older, I've gotten a lot better with appreciating who I am and, being more comfortable with myself. and getting to a point where I actually, I'm happy with who I am. I love myself. I love the life that I'm trying to build for myself, and I want to continue to build that. And I wanted to build it in a way where I don't have to rely on others to do it. I can rely solely on myself to be able to create that success, because I know I can be successful. And if you asked me that years ago, I would have told you, I don't know. I always felt like I needed other people to be successful, which is why I had a multitude of channels, which never really went anywhere, but I had channels or I had series with people where I was always partnering with friends, with, family, because to me, in my head, not only did I want myself to succeed, I wanted the people around me to succeed. I wanted to watch how we all went on this journey together, went on this chapter together. So I was so adamant on making content with friends, with family. And then I realized that the people around me don't have the same drive. They don't have the same ambition. They don't have the same goals. They don't have the same mindset that I do. So a lot of the things that I desire to do, they don't have that desire to do it. And it reflected in when it was time to go to execute. And so a lot of things just fell through because of that. And it also fell through because I got into my head. I was overthinking everything. If something didn't look right, feel right, sound right, I would scrap it so quickly that it would felt like it got Thanos snapped, and I didn't even realize it got Thanos snapped. But it was just like I was slowly putting who I was to the side because I was so focused on everything else but me. And now I'm at a point where I want to focus on myself, and that can come off as being very selfish, but I kind of feel like I need to be a little selfish, because who's going to look out for you? Nobody's going to look out for you the way you're going to look out for you. You know what you want, your needs, your goals and ambitions. Well, at least I hope you do. Maybe you don't. I don't know. I don't know who you are. See, I don't know who you are. You know who you are, but I know who I am. Right. And I realized that I haven't been taking time out to do me and to enjoy the things that I enjoy, and to allow myself to be okay with accepting that not everything is going to be 100% perfect. And sometimes you just got to do and learn. When I was making content creation, I learned, I was learning how to be better in front of a camera. I was learning how to make more engaging content. I was learning, all those things. And there's still a lot that I have to learn. The whole market of YouTube and everything has completely changed. It's not the same playing field that it was when I, starting back in 2018. It's changed completely. But at least with some of the experience, the little experience that I do have, that experience taught me a lot about myself and my ability to be capable of doing more than I thought. I would have never thought I could edit videos or learn After Effects or do Photoshop or do any of that. I always thought I would just be, just another person out in the world living their life, working the 9 to 5, doing that. But I got into the space. I realized I have a creative outlet and I just need to bring it out. But I let myself and other people kind of prevent me from doing that. And so when this situation came up, I was looking so forward to seeing where it could go and if it would go anywhere. I thought this would be great. It was exactly, kind of what I felt like I needed. It would have allowed me to open up my creativity even more. And then it kind of just started revealing its ugly face. It revealed how rude it was, how mean it was. And I said, you know what? You're a walking red flag. Don't want it. And then it made me just realize, why am I looking for others to help make me successful? If I want to be successful, I have to make that success for myself. And it's hard to realize that. Even in saying it now, it's still hard to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and do it, because you still have to execute, and execution is not easy for everybody. You get nervous, you get worried, you get in your head, you overthink, everything just starts coming together. But the people that usually do well are the ones that they say, even with all that, I gotta get it done. I have a big thing with doing things in public places. Okay, hold on. No, wait, hold on. Good, hold on. I don't even know if I can say good. Speaking in public places, making content in public places. Maybe that was the better way to say that. But I get very nervous, very anxious, very, inside my head, like, oh my God, I'm so self-conscious if I, want to make something in a public place. I get self-conscious, like, oh my God, are they gonna do something? Are they gonna say something? But I watch a lot of other creators who make content and who feel very similar to me, and they still make the content. And that's kind of what I need to do. Now, I don't know if I'm going to go out here and start recording at public places, out in the open, but just making more content and just, not being afraid of, learning from it, taking the feedback and making myself, better with that. That's what I feel like I've not been doing. And I've just not been letting myself just be creative. Because I watch a lot of content creators who make some very awesome content. They have some really cool ideas, cool hooks, cool things to keep people engaged. And I say to myself, well, I'm not doing that, so who would want to watch? But honestly, I was having a conversation with a coworker, and she was a content creator as well. Well, yeah, she's a content creator. I'm calling it a content creator. If you're watching this, you are a content creator. You're meant for greatness. You got it. But we were having a conversation at one point in a meeting that we were in, and we were talking about, so many things. And I remember, she was suggesting that, I sit down and I just talk, that people would find that interesting. And, in my head, I'm like, who would find what I have to say interesting? I feel like that I'm incredibly boring. I don't got a lot going on in my life. I literally go to work and come home. Who wants to know? Who cares? I go get to the gas station. You want to see me go to the bathroom? What are you, Dr. Disrespect? Nasty. Anyway, it was just like, she was suggesting that. And it was like, maybe why not? Why not just do it, give it a try, even if nothing comes from it? I think it would be something fun. I've always wanted to do these kind of videos where you just sit down and kind of conversations. It's actually funny because I made an episode, or I recorded a video of me doing this in my car when it was like rainy, and I wasn't sure if I was going to upload it, and I decided that I wasn't going to upload that one. This would more than likely be the one I upload. So, if you end up seeing this, that means I mustered up the courage to actually upload it, so good on me. But I want this channel to be just a place to kind of just try out some things that, I've seen, maybe other creators do, just wanting to see how it would work if I did it. And hopefully in doing that, I can find kind of what I enjoy and what really, works for me and the content and the vibe I'm trying to produce. Because there's a certain look I want, certain vibe I want to give off, and, hopefully I can do that. And hopefully you guys are here for that ride, and you join me on that, and we'll see where it goes together. If you came here and you watched this, I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. I'm really, really happy, to have been able to have this experience, and I think for me, had I not taken the opportunity, I probably wouldn't have come to this conclusion, to be very honest with you. And so going through this, experience, trying to jump on the opportunity allowed me to kind of open my eyes. And while the results of it weren't what I was hoping for, in a way, I still was able to get some value out of it. And that value was more so being able to reflect on myself and the type of doing content creation, wanting to, make more content, because, I get a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff in my spare time. And so for me, it's kind of like, well, why not put that in front of a camera? I have all this nice equipment, nice camera, nice, hopefully microphone, nice little tripod that I'm holding my microphone on. So why not actually sit down and make it? If my coworker could do it, God damn it, I can do it as well. So yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't know how often I'll, do these videos, but I guess whenever the mood strikes, I will try to sit in my car and and actually do it if I don't pass out because of heat. Like I said, my AC don't work, so you're probably asking yourself, get inside. Like, no, I'm gonna be stubborn. I'm gonna sit in my car. I'm gonna sweat. You know, I might lose a little bit, lose a couple pounds. You know, that'd be cool. But yeah, no, this is one of the things I was thinking about doing, was starting up a little bit of a series where I just get in my car during my lunchtime and just talk. Whether it's to reflect, whether it's something I thought about, something, interesting, something weird, whatever. Figured I'd talk about it and, share it with you. So, hopefully this is the start of something beautiful, and hopefully this will help spark getting the channel back up and running. I would greatly love to do that and make more content for you. Don't worry. The channel is still going to involve tech, because I do have some things tech related that I want to share. Matter of fact, I got something coming in tomorrow that I think is going to be awesome. But I'm also going to start trying to be a little bit more active on Instagram, and I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm going to do my best. So, make sure you guys check me out there, JKT Aesthetic. Of course, that'll be in the description below. Of course, if you guys do like this style of content, give it a like, let me know. I'm curious to see, if this is something you guys want to see maybe more of. I kind of want to do more of it, so I may still just do more, even if it, nobody wants it. So, but let me know if you guys do enjoy it. And, let me know what you guys think the name should be. If I should get, or maybe we don't give it a name. Maybe we just let it just be in the air. Maybe like a fart in the air or something. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know how your day is going. Whatever time of the day it is, how is it going, or how was your day? Was your day good? Was your day bad? Let me know. And yeah, until the next time I take another lunch, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.